What's up, everybody? Today I want to talk about one of the best Druid leveling builds for Season 1, and it's the Poison Pulverize build. This build does huge damage, has great range, good spirit regeneration, and doesn't require a single unique. So you can get this going from level 1, build it out all the way to 50, and into tier 3 and above. What you're seeing behind you is tier 4, so this build definitely holds up into the late game too. And what we want to do here is we pop two defenses. We pop the Bulwark and we pop Hurricane, and then you jump into the middle of a big pack of enemies and you use Poison Creeper. Vines come out of the ground and immobilize everything, and then also poison them. And then with the aspect of the Changeling's Debt, what we can do is turn that poison damage into instant damage. So the effect of this is the next attack you deal to the poisoned enemy will deal 300% of the poison damage instantly. So you poison them, and then you go with a big pulverize. You do huge pulverize damage, huge burst poison damage, and just melt everything around you. It's so strong. Pulverize has always been a really good leveling build. It's what I used to get to 80, to get to tier 4 in the preseason. And you know, as soon as I saw the patch notes, I knew I was going to add Poison Creeper to it, and it's so fun. So I definitely recommend it. So let's get straight into this build. Okay, now let's talk about the gear. I've tried to make this build as easy as possible while leveling. You know, while leveling, you replace your gear a lot, so you don't want to go and have to hunt for loads of uniques and loads of legendary aspects that are really hard to find. So this build has no uniques, and it has only one required legendary aspect. There's only one that, you know, you have to go and find and then go to the occultist and put it on your weapon. Everything else, you can just go to a dungeon, get it done, and get it in the codex. You know, this could be a lot stronger with certain uniques, and I do have a full pulverize build on my channel which uses like uniques and really hard legendary aspects. But yeah, as simple as possible. Every time you replace your weapon, you can put it back on. Every time you replace your gear, you can put it back on. So yeah, this is a very easy build to build out, and it just requires one aspect that is the one you've got to find. So hopefully it's not too bad. None of these are mandatory. They just, each one either gives you more defense or more damage. So, you know, let's go through them. First up, the aspect of Might. Basic skills grant 20% damage reduction. Very helpful. Then on the chest, I have the Quicksand aspect. Damage from earth skills, slow enemies. The reason we want this is because as you slow enemies, they become, you know, crowd controlled, immobilized. And then all of our things in the talent tree, in the abilities, the skill tree, that do extra damage to slowed crowd controlled enemies work here. So, you know, you pulverize them, they all become slowed, and then your damage is increased against them. Then the Ursine Horror, this is really good. Pulverize is now an earth skill. After casting Pulverize, spikes continue to deal damage over 2 seconds. So you get a damage increase, and then it becomes an earth skill. And then all the things we take that increase the damage of earth skills, or, you know, this now combines with earth skills, work for Pulverize, which is our main ability. So there's a lot of synergy where it's like when you use an earth skill and then a storm skill, well, Pulverize is an earth skill now. So really helpful. This is a great one. Okay, next, the legs. I got a Mending Stone aspect. So the duration of Earthen Bulwark is increased by 6 seconds. That alone is okay. In addition, killing an enemy with earth skills, Pulverize is now an earth skill, replenishes the active barrier. So that's really useful. So you're getting defensives from killing enemies, and the Bulwark is up for longer. I think this is an amazing aspect of this build. When you have Fortify, your earth skill gains +2 ranks. You're going to get a lot of Fortify in bear form, so I think this is a nice one. When it says your earth skill gain +2 ranks, Pulverize becomes an earth skill. You can see here, look, it says earth because we've got this on. So yeah, really good. +2 ranks Pulverize, amazing. Then we've got damaging a poisoned enemy with a Werebear skill instantly deals nearly 300% of the poison damage and consumes the poisoning. This is the Changeling's Debt. This is what this build is kind of made around. So this is a huge one to go and get. You can farm it straight away, get it done. Amazing aspect. And then the Shockwave's chain. Pulverize creates a shockwave that travels forward, dealing huge damage to targets in its path. This is the one aspect that isn't in the codex. You have to go and hunt this down. The build doesn't need it. The build lives without it, but this changes the build to be much more powerful. So I think this is definitely one to try and find, but you know, you can't farm the aspects well in this game. You can't, there's no, yeah, good luck if you get it. You know, I like it on the necklace. You also could put it somewhere better, but I like it on the necklace. That's where I put it first. It's good. I also like having this on the weapon, but you can mix these around if you want. Then on the ring, I've got Loop of Retaliation. I've got Retaliation aspect. Your core skills deal up to 20 to 40% increased damage based on your amount of Fortify. You're going to have a lot of Fortify. You're going to be a bear a lot. You're going to be fortifying a lot with different aspects. So more damage, great. And core skills, Pulverize is the core skill, so perfect. And then I have Rabid aspect. Basic attacks gain 27% attack speed. So as you're whacking away, trying to increase your, you know, whenever you're doing your basic attack, you're just trying to get your spirit back. So you gain speed, you gain your spirit back faster. I will say with this aspect, again, all of this is in the codex, but if you do find the Conceited aspect, that's a really good one to replace this with. So if you're lucky enough to find the Conceited aspect, switch it in. I found it and I used it and then I've got rid of it and now I can't find it no matter how much I'm hunting it down. It isn't turning up. But if you find the conceited aspect, I'd say that would be better than the rapid aspect on the ring. But yeah, that would be my suggestion. And that's it. That's the gear. I honestly, as a leveling build, wouldn't stress the gear too much. You're going to be changing your gear constantly. You're going to be plowing through enemies really fast. You might not need a lot of these ones. The ones I would worry about the most would be the shockwave aspect, the changeling's debt, the mending stone, and the Ursine horror. They're the ones that and quicksand. They're the ones I would really worry about. They're the ones that I'd want the most. They're the ones that I would be constantly trying to, if I get an upgrade, I would try and put this back on. But yeah, that's it. That's the build. It's a leveling build, so I'm not going to go into the Paragon board and, you know, really technical end game of the skill tree, shall we? So let's start at the top. Right, I will link this down below as well if you want to see more of a level by level, but I think it's really important to talk through them and to talk through the changes and the things we're doing. And if you don't like a certain thing, you know which ones to take away, and if there's things that interact with another, you want to make sure you don't miss them. So let's go through this as you level. First, take Storm Strike, the first thing I'd take, then Enhance to make them immobilized, and then this to make them vulnerable, Fierce Storm Strike. Moving down, this is your big damage dealer, your core skill, Pulverize. Shapeshift into a werebear and slam the ground. You want a 5 out of 5 this. I've got 4 extra levels here from items, but you want a 5 out of 5 this. Moving down, you want to enhance it to Pulverize, deal overpower damage, and then Primal Pulverize makes enemies deal less damage to you. This is really important when pushing like tier 2, tier 3, things like that. So this is the main thing. If you've got Renowned from the preseason, you want to dump it into here. This is your main damage. It's the thing that's going to carry you through, level you fast. So you want to max this ASAP. Then you want to go into here, max spirit increase by 9. Another big thing about leveling is you're not going to have a Paragon board. You're not going to have the perfect gear with the perfect stats on. So you're going to really struggle for spirit. And then I would go for this one here, basic skills generate 18% more spirit. That's how I would start this. The basic skill, the core skill, and then the spirit regeneration. That's how I'd start. I wouldn't get this straight away. Okay, then you want to move down and grab your defensive, Earthen Bulwark. Then you want to grab the Enhance, which makes you unstoppable, and then this, which gives you Fortify. Every class took a big hit in their defensive, so this is really good to have in the season 1 where we all are a little bit weaker, and you know, if you're pushing tier 2, tier 3, maybe even tier 4 in a leveling build, then you're going to want to be as defensive as possible. And then moving down here, you want to take Poison Creeper. 1 point in this to unlock it, 1 point in this to increase the immobilized duration, and then 1 point in this for increased crit chance. That's how I do. 1 point just for now. Then you want to take this, Clarity. Gain 6 spirit when transforming into human form. Because we don't have any uniques, we are constantly moving back from, you know, turn into a bear, turn back into a human, turn into a werewolf, turn into a human. You're constantly shapeshifting. So every time you come back, you gain 6 spirit. Spirit generation is really important. So for now, I'd go for this. Moving down here, I would take Hurricane, form a hurricane around you. That's a big buff. And then enemies that are damaged by Hurricane are slowed. Then go here. Hurricane has a 15% chance to make enemies vulnerable. Then I would go down to here and get your Trample. The reason we take Trample, it doesn't make much sense, but Trample got a ridiculous buff in the patches. So you want to take 1 point in this, you want to enhance it to do damage, and then you want this, Savage Trample. Casting Trample grants 40 spirit. Trample only has like a 14-second cooldown, I think. Yeah, 14-second cooldown. So you can get in and out of combat super fast. You can get into combat and get your spirit back. Get out of combat, get your spirit back. As you're leveling, that's so important because you don't have the Paragon board. So yeah, I would go for that first. And then you have a full bar. Then you have all of your abilities. You have your core, you have your basic, you have your core, you have your defensive, you have your buff, you have your combo setup, and you have your movement and mana spirit regeneration. So that's how I'd set it up first, and then I'd go back and I'd start picking up the points we left behind. So I'd go back here and get this. Your core skills cost 12% more spirit, but deal increased damage. I'd go for this next, 3 out of 3 that. Then I would go down here and I would get this one. Nature's Reach, 9% increased damage to distant enemies. The reason we take this is because of Shockwave. It makes Pulverize go in a big line. So the enemies at the back will take 10% more damage, doubled if they're slowed, stunned, or immobilized, which they will be because that's what this build's all about. Pulverize will slow them. Hurricane slows them. Yeah, Hurricane slows them. I think our main attack immobilizes them. Yeah, our Storm Strike has a chance to immobilize them. So we got lots of effects going off, so it's really useful to take this one. Then I would max Poison Creeper. The big combo we have where we Poison Creeper them and then we burst the poison is really good. So this really ups our damage. So I'd 5 out of 5 that. And then I think we're caught up. Yeah, then we're caught up. Then we go down here. Okay, then I grab this this passive 3 here. Crushing Earth. Earth skills do 50% increased damage to slowed, stunned, immobilized, or knockback enemies. They're all going to be like that, like we said. So I'd max this, go here. Crit strikes with Earth skills, fortify you for 7% base life. Huge. And then this one here, while you fortify for a 50% of your max life, your Earth skills deal increased damage. So yeah, we've got the combo of gaining fortify and then dealing more damage when we're fortified. Moving down to here, we have our, I think we've got everything. Yeah, we're caught up. And then moving down to here, you want to make sure you get your passive here. Ursine Strength, 20% additional max life while in werebear form, and 3 seconds after leaving werebear form. While healthy, deal 30% increased damage. So the big part of this build is staying at good life. So having fortify, not losing the health, staying healthy and staying alive. That's the big thing. And while you're in that, you're dealing 30% increased damage. So it's really good. It's really useful. I like the werewolf builds more, I'd say. But for not needing the uniques, this pulverized bear form is just so good. You're constantly in and out of the bear form, so really, really useful. Then I would go to here and grab these passives. You want a 3 out of 3 this one. When a shape-shifting skill transforms you into a different form, it deals 15% increased damage. Like we said, constantly flipping in and out. Then I go here, you want to get this one to 3 out of 3. So you want a 1-1 that, 1-3 that, 1-3 that, and then 3-3 this. Nature skills deal 6% increased damage. Triple this if an earth skill is the next skill cast after a storm skill, or a storm skill is the next skill cast after an earth skill. I'll show you here. That's a storm skill, which is going to be active a lot. That's nothing. That's the top. That's an earth skill. That's a earth skill. And that's a storm skill. So you see you've got 2 storms, 2 earths. Yeah, so you got a lot of combos there. So this is definitely worth taking. And that's the skill tree. That's how I'd build it out. This'll ride you all the way to tier 3, all the way to tier 4. It's a beautiful build. I love it. It's what I'm going to be going for on my Druid when I make it. So yeah, season 1 build. That's it. Okay, then onto the spirit boons. The way the boons work on Druid is a lot slower than on other classes, because you have to first unlock them, then you have to get the things to hand in, and you have to fill up these bars. So you know, I'd go for the easy ones first. This one's a very easy one to get. Pack Leader on the Wolf. Crit strikes have up to a 20% chance to reset the cooldowns of your companion skill. Your companion skill is Poison Creeper. So, you know, you only got to put a few points in to get this one, so I'd probably go for this one first. Then you've got this one in the Eagle. I'd probably go for this, 10% attack speed. Really helpful. As we're slashing with Storm Strike, having more attack speed will give us our mana back faster. So I think that's a really, really nice one. Then I would go down to the bottom one, and I would get every 20th kill will cause your next Earth skill to overpower. We're going to be a lot of Earth skills, quite nice. Then I would grab the top one, the Deer. You take 10% reduced damage from elites. Really, really helpful. You know, it's hard to explain just how much harder things seem to be hitting after the patch. So I'll be taking all the defensives I can get. And then if you want to take your second one, I normally go for this one. Crit strikes with shapeshifting skills give you a 75% chance to heal you for 3% of your max life. I think that's really good. There's definitely more aggressive ways to take this. There's a lot better things for dealing damage on here. You know, there's 5% crit chance. There's crit damage somewhere. 30% crit strike damage. There's really good ones on here for damage, but I'm just very nervous about how hard stuff is hitting, so I want to take defensives, and I want to get my pulverize up as much as possible. That's it. That's the build. It's a leveling build, so I'm not going to go into the Paragon board and, you know, really technical end game, or if you get this unique, replace it with this. You know, that I'm recording this before the season even launches in the UK, so we don't even have, you know, can't test the new Malignant Hearts or anything like that. So I don't want to go too deep into end game. Who knows when, you know, when we get the Malignant Hearts and we push into the new season, how good these are going to be at 70, 80, 90. But for getting to 1 to tier 3, tier 4, this will blast you there very fast. But that's it. That's the video. That's the build. I hope it helps. Hope you're ready to play Druid in season 1. Hope you're looking forward to it. I still think, despite the nerfs, Druid is still slapping. I think the Malignant Hearts look fun. Some of the Druid ones look really good. There's potential for new builds with some of the changes they've made. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty damn strong in season 1. So yeah, that's the build. Hope it helps. I'll link down below the full build if you want to go check it out. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Subscribe for more, by the way, if you want more builds. So you want more builds, subscribe. We're going to be making lots of builds. Always make lots of builds. More builds on my channel. I got loads of Sorcerer builds. If anyone's playing Sorcerer, maybe I'll just archive them. Does anyone want to play Sorcerer? I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Take care, everyone. Bye.